Someone Like You is a religious, faith-based romance movie from the New York Times best-selling author Karin Kingsbury, based on the book with the same name, which I do have and have literally finished 2 days ago before I went to go see the movie in theaters. That's right, in theaters. This is the first movie made by Kingsbury Productions, so it's no marketing budget from Hollywood. This movie was made independently, which was amazing because at the end of the book, especially the movie tie-in edition, she talks about the hurdles, steps, and struggles she had to do into making this book adaptation into movies and cinemas. Dawson Gage, who's an architect, has been in love with London Quinn his whole entire life. And for the longest time, they were together. They were hanging out. They were just friends, but maybe it could have been to a relationship. However, they soon face a tragic accident that sends him over the edge and starts a journey to find her identical twin sister all over the world. Will he be able to find her? What will happen when he does? Will he feel something totally different or the same, since they're literally the same person, just different hairstyles, but same similar cheekbones, and one of them's a brunette and one of them's a blonde? Find out as we talk about it. To start this off, as a person who's read the book and is familiar with the source material, it does follow closely, although they changed some of the names, of course, of the characters and the times of shooting and the places. But what they added, I thought was amazing because we get such more emotional impact on what was already a great story along with Jesus Christ and the romance. Of course, they took away some things, they omitted some things, and they add in some things. But of course, now that you have the source material, it feels like an overall movie complete because now you get to see the visual realized, especially on the big screen. I gotta give you some disclaimers before we even talk about this. I'm a heterosexual guy. I love females. I adore females. Before YouTube, I went to go to school to become a psychiatrist. So I was trying to get my psychology degree because I wanted to be a marriage therapy relationship counselor. And the reason why I say that, as a dude that likes girls, a lot of guys get stigmatized online. I don't want to bash love. I want love to succeed. Of course, I'm trying to find my future wife sometime. But I only say that because I want love to succeed. Yes, I'm going to review the movie critical, but just to let you know, I have read the source material and I want you to know that background. But it's because this movie hit me at such an emotional time right now. Very crucial time, kind of. This movie deals a lot with God. They talk about God. God is an overall through line here with Jesus. And I feel like, yes, although I do need to go to church more, I do listen to the sermons online. But you know how everyone says everyone has a unique connection with God? I feel like recently, me and him have been talking more. I mean, I talk to him like mostly like every day, but with like the movies and theaters and the romance, I think this is the perfect time because I love this review channel that I go see movies in theaters, and having a book that has romance, God, and that's having adaptation to cinemas. I feel like me and him are speaking the same language and finally getting close to each other. And I just want him to help me out. I want him to make sure that I'm okay. So this is a crucial time that I'm reviewing this movie because it's a great film if you liked other movies such as Redeeming Love and The Shift, which also had kind of books tie-in for some of them, but also romance, religious, and theaters, especially that you could see online. One thing that I really loved is the look and feel of the movie. The cinematography is mostly breathtaking as it was shot during the fall/autumn seasons, and some of the scenes that they had to shoot during the nighttime, and you would never know because they had so many lights, but of course that's at the end of the book for you. She talks about the process of bringing in lights, so I thought it was cool because I was trying to point them out based because of that knowledge that I had to the book that I'm relaying for you guys. But it also feels calmly in terms of the autumn and fall season. I will absolutely revisit this movie again in my second favorite season, which was fall, because it has this nice, gentle, warmer touch like Jesus Christ. The movie is shot in these beautiful locations where the sun rays shine through the trees, and of course the inhabitants that incorporated into the beautiful neighborhood, and it just has that warm, gentle touch that kind of Jesus Christ would want. It's warm, it's huggable, it's like almost cold, but not really. Some of the scenes, like the jet skis, they literally had to film in the water, but they couldn't only do it for a little bit because it was like so cold. Who's gonna do jet skis in the middle of fall? It's like one of the inhabitants or the guests that had to talk about at the end of the book. Every major impactful emotional moment from the book is translated into the screen, such as the beginning, which like the traumatic accident, the grieving process, and the line that happens to, of course, Andy Allen, but also finding out who her real biological family is, the thing that happened with the mat, you know, she's like, like this is like, I don't want to spoil it for you, and of course everything that happens in the middle, and of course as you've seen in the trailers, and literally the cover, of course the final kiss, but also the ending with like the kangaroos and the zoo and the coffee shop, that's all incorporated into the movie. For some reason, the tragic accident that happens in the beginning, you know, with the ambulance and what happened to London Quinn, I don't know, for some reason when I was reading the pages in the book, it felt more impactful, and that's really weird because usually the cinemas would be more impactful for me, but when I was reading it, and maybe it's because I also have a lot of backstory and history and knowledge with movies and books and romance, in the movie when I saw that what happened, the emotional impact, it didn't get me like I thought it was going to. It kind of, and I'm sorry to be mean, and I'm not trying to be mean, I'm not. It felt a little bit melodramatic, I don't know, like I told you, maybe because when I was reading it for the first time, I was like, oh my god, like it says something like, then she wasn't there anymore when I was talking to her. I'm like, what? But the other moments are enough to suffice and do make up for that in the beginning. I don't know, it just felt like, okay, like that happened and that's it. But I'm like, what? Like for me, I guess because of course the book is gonna be over better than the movie. It's just, I don't know, maybe, but at the same time, this is the first time they're making a movie, so I'm not gonna really knock on it too hard. But I'm just letting them, hey, like that didn't make me feel the way I thought of it. And now someone didn't read the book and they see that, it might have hit for them differently than I am, because I kind of was expecting at that moment to happen the accident that, you know what I'm talking about if you've seen the movie. Andy Allen, who is 24, lives with her family and just got her dream job at the zoo, searching the kangaroos, being with the kangaroos, and is so-called in love with her boyfriend Matt. At the time, soon gets her world turned upside down as her parents, or she finds out that she is adopted from Crier Embry, and her world swirling as she thought as her parents lied to her. So she sets out finding her biological family as well as what happened to her biological sister. One thing that I do gotta like, and I do gotta like think, I'm like, how they gonna do this is how they flesh out Dawson's and Andy Allen's, I don't want to say like relationship, I mean romance, by giving them more scenes and of course iconic moments. I mean, yes, it could be a little bit dramatic flair, but not in terms of the bad way. Like he was showing her the tour guide. I know in the book he shows her the tour guide. It just, maybe I wasn't reading as quickly as I thought, or I wasn't thinking about it, because in the tour guide you see it in action, the way like they look at each other, the way they like each other, the way they're falling for each other. I also love throughout the movie he says something and it's reiterated throughout the whole narrative of the runtime. He says, I can do that. Or the parents, when she moves in, basically the parents like, can you show her on the jet skis? He says, I can do that. I can do that. I love that, because I'm like, dude, this is keeping the overall narrative of the plot going forward. One thing that I was really incredible is that they added, and I'm not gonna spoil it for you, is the meeting. That's right, the meeting between the families. And without spoiling it, I thought it was amazing because that was added to the movie. When I was reading the ending towards the book, I don't think it had that. I mean, yes, at the end, the zoo scene, the kangaroos are there, but that meeting, I thought it was amazing addition because it just rounds out this whole story, especially with Jesus Christ. I'm like, dude, that's an amazing addition that happened on screen, that if you read the source material, feels a little bit more emotional impact, because I did not see that coming in, nor did I ever thought that could happen based on what I was reading. I guess my only gripe with this movie is in the beginning, the camera would, here, like shake a little bit. I don't know what's happening now, like shake, and I did not like that. I'm like, oh my god, just keep it steady. But like at the same time, this is the first time they're making a movie, so I'm not gonna really knock on it too much. The cinematic score and the soundtrack was enough to complement the film in terms of the warm, gentle warmness that the movie was going for, like complementing the overall look and feel with like the calming and the warm hug of Jesus Christ. I mean, I do like the soundtrack, but it's nothing, at least for me, like I'm not gonna save it on my playlist. I mean, yes, I will listen to it again when I revisit the movie again in the fall. At the end of the day, as a person who's read the book, I'm going to give this movie an A. I thought this was an amazing, especially for me, since I'm trying to read the book and getting closer to Jesus Christ. This is another great movie to be experienced in theaters about romance and religion. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you so much. Maybe consider hitting that like button and turning on notifications so you never miss a video. And with that, take care. Bye.